Good morning, everyone. It's Andrew and Austin with Stock Talks, Supercharged Stocks. End of the month, Wednesday, March 31st. How are you this morning, Austin?
I'm not doing too bad, Andrew. How about yourself?
Everything's great. Beautiful day out here. It's a bit slow, but can't complain today. It looks like it's going to be a nice day. But let's focus on a couple things mining related. I always like to. That's the core foundation of everything that I do, and there are some news releases out today from some of the companies I know and love, including Amex, Copperbank, and just an update on a couple things as well, because I saw an excellent article. It's a bit old now. It's like 6 weeks old. I missed it, but I want to talk about that too. So I think a good place to end is to just jump at Amex. And we've had Amex on. I've done videos with them. They've been such a great winner last year. And they've announced that they've got some great mineralization near surface. So 1.62 grams per ton over 51 meters at Perron. So excellent news, looking great. And I'm just going to pull up the chart here for a second. And it's down 7 cents. So it started it had a bit of a pop this morning, and that's pulled back. So, this is a strange and funny market. Why Amex isn't trending up, other than the fact that gold has been seeing a pullback across the board because the price isn't where people were. I mean, it's still strong, but I think people were expecting a lot higher gold price right now, and we're quite honestly seeing, I think, and I mean, I could be wrong, a lot of it being pushed into crypto.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. That seems to be the approach that has been taken by the market over the last little while. We've seen the price of gold fluctuating around. It's nice to see it bouncing back up, but we do get this kind of look of a lot of gold companies hurting over recent times. And you do think that has to do with crypto as well?
It's the only thing that I can think is reasonable. I mean, just resources companies, they ebb and flow anyway, not only with exercise of warrants, the inflow of a new fund compared to an old fund. There's different stages of development that people are interested in. So there's a lot more complexity to investing in resources than one would imagine than if it was just simply a Gillette. Like, we make razors and we sell razors, and it's easy to kind of formulate how much are you going to sell and project and whatnot. So there's a lot more to it. It's not for the faint of heart. So that's also why people avoid it, because it's very tough. It's a very tough and hard business. But the rewards are huge. And also it really attracts like the mindset of someone who can endure a lot of pain, but they're treasure hunters. I mean, that's a great way to look at it, is that the people that are truly in love with mining and they love what they do, I look at them literally as treasure hunters, because they're just going to keep looking. Like, once they find one, they usually go and find another one, or that's their goal. They want to go find stuff. It isn't just, I just want to make money for money's sake. It's that, no, I want to be involved in finding stuff. And that's that discovery kind of passion, and that kind of person who's is really motivated by discovery of anything, is what draws a lot of people to this, because it is a tough business.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because it's something that I noticed kind of across the board with these mining guys and mining companies that we work with, is that sense of just like exploration and adventure that they all seem to have within them. So it's an interesting point that you make that, and I think it ties into kind of how people would look at the stocks as well. As I know it fits into kind of the way you and I consistently talk about things of, don't worry about the dips, don't worry about when it goes through the rough times. If you believe in the stock, you believe in the model that you have, it's going to come to fruition at the end.
Yeah, and that's why it's so.
Which is Copperbank also had an interesting report today.
Yes. So I'm glad you. No, it's okay. We have a bit of delay and a little bit of overflow here. So, yes. So Copperbank had a great announcement as well today. So they've got their targets announced, and there's quite a detailed email that went out. I think they'll be posting on their website very soon. But obviously very pleased with this. Their first program is 12 holes, about 6,000 meters. So this is very interesting. It's great news. And this is what happens. I mean, you have to identify those key targets, and then you start drilling. I mean, it's step by step. It's very methodical. We're really excited about this because Gianni Kovacevic, the CEO of Copperbank, he's very well known in the space. He's got such great relationships. He truly has been leading the charge, not only in the media, but with Copperbank too, of grabbing assets for pennies on the dollar and also driving this whole electric future home. Well before I was talking about it, and most other people were talking about it, he saw this entire demand that was going to be needed for copper. And that's why, I mean, I look at copper as it's so dynamic, it's so interesting. And it's a totally different story than if you look at precious metals and a gold. That function of mining is quite a bit different than that of copper. And oddly enough, if you talked about copper 10 years ago, or 15, 20 years ago, people wouldn't be that excited. You're talking about, it still had electric use. I mean, that's its main kind of use, but it was a lot of infrastructure, and people aren't drawn to infrastructure projects like they are to, say, innovation like Tesla. But you can't have Tesla without copper. So, this whole drive, the foundation, that strength, and whether it's in how you view your day, how you view your life, if you don't have a strong foundation in a company and anything, you have no legs to stand on. And our foundation for the future is the supply chain of battery energy metals, critical metals like vanadium and rare earth, all of these very, very necessary ingredients that create motherboards, chips, processors, all of these things, nanotech technology, all of these, any technology that comes from that gets people really jazzed up comes from the ground.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's such an exciting sector that has so much potential, and the more people look into it, even myself, kind of getting into it only through you and having conversations with you about it, and then realizing, like, holy crap, like this stuff really goes in everything. Like, you really can't do any of the things that I like to do, even be that, in my professional or personal life. You can't really do them without these precious rare earth metals, and copper's kind of right at the top of that list for me, is like, you really need this.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, like, there's like a 10 million plus ton demand that's required. I mean, there's going to be such an amazing demand. And at the end of the day, if you want to keep things real simple, it's supply demand. But this touches on something that is critical as well, because you're talking about the junior mining resource sector. And there was an article out by this woman who's very well known in the mining sector. Her name is Paula Rojas, and she's the managing director of Synergy Resource Capital. She's done a number of amazing things and worked with a lot of great companies like BHP Minerals. She's been on the board of SSR Mining, Cliffs Natural Resources. She's done a ton of work over the last 15 years, just not only with like legal, finance, public relations, financial modeling, project management. Very well known, very, very well regarded. And this, like I'd hinted at or I mentioned before, this is about 6 weeks old, but this is such an excellent article that she's posted on medium.com, and we'll provide that link. And it's called The Weekly by Synergy. And the title is awesome. Beware, you may be holding a lifestyle company in your portfolio and it may cost you big. This is excellent. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole article because I would urge you to read it, but she lists 6 key drivers that she sees that are just excellent. And I love when people come out and do this, because there's still a remnant of that pump and dump and lifestyle company out there. It's active today. You go on forums, you see it all the time. Whether you want to call them short squeezes, which are pumps in one direction, a pump to negatively talk about a company, or it's a pump up to talk about a company having something they don't have, or just push it and market it. That's the case in any quote unquote market. That's what a market is. It's a lot of time it's selling an idea, a lifestyle, a dream, a possibility. Nothing displays that or illustrates that better than some of the massively overvalued stocks you see on NASDAQ that will never ever have the earnings to demand the price that they have, but yet people buy into them, and they like it because there's a brand or there's an idea behind it. People kind of get that and accept that at the larger scale, but they get very upset if they think that something's being pumped or dumped on the junior market. And it's certainly, people have had a lot of bad experiences, especially retail investors, because that's the market they're involved in. So whenever someone very important and who's got a great reputation comes out and actively promotes to be careful and to look at these lifestyle companies without naming any, but giving you some like a milestone or a yardstick, then I want to promote that and I want to get that out, because we've got an image problem and we need to fix that. And we need people to get along on side and see that there are exceptional opportunities, exceptional management teams and companies out there. And I really congratulate Paula for putting the article out. It was a great read. And yeah, so when you get a chance, please take a look, because it's definitely something that we need to focus on.
Yeah, it's a great read, and I think that my favorite point that she makes in it is that investing in these tech and exploration startups is always going to be risky. But when you're keeping kind of the key points, the 6 points that she walks everyone through, if people want to go read the article, when you keep those points in mind, and it drives exactly back to the points that you and I are consistently trying to make about, having confidence in the company, looking at the management structure, looking at the capital structure. Once you have the safety of looking at all those key factors, you can feel more secure about your investment and where things are going.
Good. And maybe you can wrap us up here too, because today we were supposed to have Alain on from Secure, so Globex Data, but we had to do a bit of a shift. So we'll have him on tomorrow. Maybe you can touch a little on that and tell us what your thoughts are on Secure, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we're really looking forward to getting to talk to him, and thankfully we were able to adjust it to tomorrow. We'll kind of do an early Good Friday special, I suppose you could call it. But
Yeah.
no, I'm really looking forward to kind of picking his brain about what exactly makes Switzerland the safe haven for security. How he creates a tech company, how he creates a company that he believes is going to rival WhatsApp. And keeps that out of the hands of big tech and giant corporations in the United States. How he plans on really ensuring long term that everyone's data that works with Securing and GlobeX is going to be safe and secure. So I'm just looking forward to getting to pick his brain on his ideas there, and he's got some great ideas on how their company is structured and built as well, that make it extremely exciting and attractive from an investment standpoint as well, not just the security end of things. It's got the kind of two-prong approach that I'm really excited about. It's an exciting product. It's useful. It's going to be highly critical, I believe, over the next decade to be securing your data, along with an awesome capital structure, a hell of a management team, and a really exciting stock that I think both retail and higher end investors can make a lot of money off of if they were going to get in at the right time.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, it's yeah, like you said, it's a great product to use, but also the company, there's a lot of value there for an investor as well. And it once again, it's supplying a critical demand that people are very aware of. And if once again, I not to pick on people, but if you're the type of person that says, well, if someone can harvest my data and I don't mind, they can use it, or I don't really care about free speech because if someone's really interested, that I never engage that type of person, because quite frankly, it frustrates me that if you're not critical in your thinking and your reasoning as to why that's important, then I don't know even where to begin with that conversation with someone. So it is critical moving forward. And if someone is able to offer you a free anything, service like WhatsApp, it's not free. They're being able to generate a lot of money off of you. So, to me, I'd rather know what the cost is right up front and know that no one's harvesting my information. No one has a chance at sneaking in and breaking through that encryption along any of those processes. And no one also is tabulating and sharing that information with other corporations, other governments, and anything else. That if you don't care about any of the ideological reasons, that's worth money. And I'd rather know what the cost is rather than someone else making a profit off of me. So that's my 2 cents. Happy Wednesday. I'll sign off and hope you have a great day, Austin.
Yeah, you as well, Andrew. Looking forward again to talking to Elaine tomorrow, and we'll look forward to chatting to you again as well.
Excellent. All right, take care.